Colonel Pick, Colonel Brewer, distinguished guests, sailors and Marines. We're here today to honor the memory and the service of Elliot Mora, Major U.S. Marines. Elliot was a Marines Marine. He was a proud Mustang. He enlisted in the Marine Corps on 29 August 1989 and rose to the rank of corporal before being selected through the boost program for a commission. He attended one of the most prestigious universities in our nation, Carnegie Mellon, and was commissioned as second lieutenant on 17 May 1997. After basic officer course, he completed ground supply officer school and served with Marine Wing Support Group 37, Marine Forces South, 12th Marine Corps District, Combat Service Support Group 3, and here at U.S. Marine Corps Detachment Presidio. He was a natural Marine, and that was thanks to his upbringing. His life was grounded by his faith in God, country, and family. So when he joined the Corps, our core values, leadership traits, and principles were already instincted in him. Honor, courage, commitment, dependability, bearing, decisiveness, endurance, enthusiasm, initiative, integrity, judgment, justice, knowledge, tact, unselfishness, and loyalty. These were not just words to him. This was Major Mora. On October 9th, 2006, while assigned to a military transition team in the town of Pitt, Al-Anbar Province, Iraq, Major Mora was wounded during a mortar attack on his forward operating base. An April 2007 news article about Major Mora's Purple Heart ceremony truly captured his sense of duty, dedication, and loyalty to the Corps. I'd like to read a passage from that article. During the attack, Mora took shrapnel to both his legs and was peppered with metal down his back and arms. According to Mora, most of the shrapnel remains in him, as it would be potentially damaging to surgically remove the pieces. Quote, "They just stitched me up and put me on light duty for about a month," said Mora. Despite the injuries, Mora continued his tour, rehabilitating himself while still serving with the MIT team. He still continues physical therapy and will have to for an undetermined amount of time. However, Mora said this would not stop his career. He said it would take far more than shrapnel to break him away from his brotherhood. Quote, "I will most definitely stay in the Marine Corps," he added. "The rest of the Marines still serving my brothers, they're the reason why I still keep going." Major Elliot Mora continued therapy for even after being assigned here at Monterey. This past May, we took our last PFT, and I ran with him during the 3-mile run. Although he was in pain and he had to stop once or twice because of that pain, he never quit. When I stopped once to check on him, he just waved me off. I wasn't worried about him finishing. I knew he would, but I could tell he was suffering. I continued to look over my shoulder to check on him and watched as he fell further behind. But as we entered that last mile, I noticed that he'd begun to close the gap with me. As I focused on catching one of the young captains that was up in front of me on the final stretch, out of nowhere, here comes Major Elliot Mora sprinting behind me. He beat me by 5 seconds. He had an indomitable spirit, a Marine spirit. On the day that Elliot died, August 18th, he and I had our last conversation. It was his out call. We talked about his training he'd had here, his upcoming move to Africa. We talked about family, friends, told sea stories. He was proud, he was happy, he was excited, he was at peace. Major Mora always spoke from the heart with a self-confidence that is common in men of unwavering faith. That faith came from the love he received from his family, his God, and his fellow Marines. As we shook hands and said our final goodbyes, he made a point of telling me how proud he was of you young Marines here. For those of you who do not know Major Mora, He was one of the most genuinely dedicated Marines and genuinely decent people I've ever met. He had a contagious smile, and sincerity that made you truly feel like you were part of his family. And when you talked to him, you knew immediately that he loved the Marine Corps and he loved being a Marine. It's hard not to be sad today. We're saying farewell to a son, a brother, a friend, a Marine. Major Elliot Mora epitomizes all that we as Marines hold dear and what we all strive to be.